Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. This is your Z107.7 local news for Saturday, May 16th, 2026. The public lands rule has been reversed by the Department of the Interior, opening up 245 million acres of public land to extractive mining, land sales, foreign investment, and other actions that many public land advocacy groups find contrary to the idea of conservation. Senator Adam Schiff came through Joshua Tree a few weeks back to discuss chromium water treatment with the Joshua Basin Water District. He also stopped by the Z107.7 newsroom for an interview, and one of the things we discussed was public lands. Here's some of that conversation.
Where do you see public lands in California over the next 3 years?
I think this is just such a vital part of our heritage. It's a vital part of what makes people want to live in California, that we have nature around us. For this reason, I've just always been a champion of open space and public lands. For the next 3 years, we're going to be fighting a defensive battle. The administration takes a very different view. They think lands are there to be exploited in terms of mining and timber harvesting and everything else, and are more in the business of trying to do away with the wilderness areas and national monuments rather than expanding them. So I think for some time we're going to be trying to fend off bad things from happening in public lands. But I hope we get back to a place where we can once again be improving public lands, investing in them, making sure they have the kind of maintenance and support that they need, and that we have the personnel too. The Park Service has been decimated. The Forest Service has been decimated. We have people who do great work, love the work they do, doged and fired and laid off. And as a result, we're not doing the kind of maintenance work that we should in a lot of our national parks, and that's just a terrible shame. People love the public trust and the public lands. Some challenges, but also I'm optimistic about the long term.
You can find a longer version of that conversation along with more information on the reversal of the public lands rule. That's all at Z107.7fm.com. As part of their 2-year anniversary, the High Desert Artist Gallery is holding a fundraiser that's going to be going to charity. With more, here's Jeff Harmatz.
Take a seat, please. This chair-based fundraiser sees a dozen local artists transforming ordinary folding chairs into works of art. These hand-painted and creatively decorated chairs will be on display at the gallery and then auctioned off. Participating artists include Phil Miller, Paul Donaldson, Snake Jagger, Bonnie Brady, Julianne Elliott, Tracy Schatz, Marcia Geiger, Jen Shakti, Barry Scanlon, Krista Wargo, Esther Shaw, Ed Kiesling, Eddie Tucker, and John Ganista. The chairs will be on display as part of the gallery's anniversary event tonight. They will be auctioned off at an event on June 14th. Proceeds from the auction will benefit the gallery and its ongoing arts programming. High Desert Artist Gallery will also celebrate its 2-year anniversary with a retrospective show opening tonight. Nearly 40 artists have submitted standout pieces created during the past 2 years. The exhibition will feature paintings, photography, pencil, charcoal, and pen and ink drawings, mixed media works, ceramics, and sculptures. The opening reception for both shows is tonight from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the gallery. High Desert Artists is located at 55635 29 Palms Highway in Yucca Valley. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Jeff Harmatz.
The first Mojave Zine Fest will be continuing today out in 29 Palms. The event was created by Natalie Raymond, who calls it a celebration of the handmade DIY craft and culture of zines or fan magazines. Raymond joined zine maker Gabriel Hart on the Z107.7 morning show with Cody and Jeff on Friday to discuss the festival.
A zine is basically just a DIY publication that is put out without the traditional kind of modes of publishing. So usually you're printing it yourself. And then the main Zine Fest is Saturday. That's going 10:30 to 6. The opening workshop starts at 10, so a little bit early. And that is a Getting Started with Zines workshop with Jillian Sandell, which is a real treat. She's a local zine maker.
Great zine maker.
Great zine maker.
She's one of the top zine makers in the desert, I'd say.
Yeah, and it's a real treat. She's doing a workshop for.
Zines are also really cheap. I'll have stuff for sale personally for like $1, nothing more than $10. And I assume that a lot of other folks are mindful of selling inexpensive stuff. So, bring the kids, bring yourself. It's for everybody.
For everybody and really accessible. Also, zines make great gifts. I plan on buying all of my holiday gifts and putting them in a shoebox until December because they're also very storable.
You can see Natalie, Gabe, Jeff, and all the other zine makers. They'll be selling their wares alongside other artists from across the Morongo Basin out at Corner 62 until 6 p.m. They're located at 73552 29 Palms Highway in 29 Palms. The event is free to attend. The Hot Patooties are a 4-piece female-fronted punk and roll band that always put on a good show with original 3-chord power punk anthems that bring high energy to the high desert. Come hoot and holler tonight with BB Patootie, David Patootie, Shanzi Patootie, and Kim Patootie, aka ZJ Kim, from your mornings and afternoons here on Z107.7. They'll be playing a show tonight versus some punks out of Riverside calling themselves the Undercover Monsters. Get out to Flamingo Heights tonight and catch the two bands playing beginning at 7 p.m. at Giant Rock Meeting Room. Tickets are $10 at the door or $7 if you buy them in advance. We'll have a link at this story on our website, z1077fm.com. And Steel Magnolias continues its run this weekend at Theater 29. Set in a small Louisiana community in the 1980s, the story explores the bonds between 6 women as they navigate life's seasons and trials. It's been described as a dramedy as the play eloquently blends humor and dramatic themes. Here's an excerpt from Adeline J. Wells' review of the South-based classic.
Hooded hairdryers, vanities, and a plastic card table decked with magazines transport the audience to the 80s in all its glory. The costumes reflected the many patterns and styles of the decade as well, from rocker chic garb to terry bathrobes, smart skirt suits, leopard print, and of course, big hair. The women answered phone calls on both a corded and a cordless plastic phone, and Patty Brown's voice danced on the radio waves to announce hit tracks from the era, including Dolly Parton's iconic I Will Always Love You in the final scene.
You can find her full review at our website. Performances begin at 7 p.m. tonight and at 2:30 p.m. on Sunday. Tickets are available for purchase online at theater29.org. And a mixed bag of 6 original 10-minute plays are being performed tonight and tomorrow at the Palms in Wonder Valley as part of the 10-Minute Play Festival. The performances will include 10 Minutes by Julian Felice, a 10-minute play about 2 characters who realize that their lives exist only in the world of the 10-minute play. Proceeds by Wendy Soroka, a man who had just shot and killed his friend gets an earful from the friend he's just killed. The Experience by Clinton Festa, a couple celebrating an anniversary at their favorite restaurant called The Experience are treated to exactly that. Love After Love by Jeff Pearlman. A new couple is getting some unexpected ghostly coaching from a deceased ex. Epiphany by David McGregor. A couple mull over the zen of taking a look at what matters to them. And 37 Origami Bees by John Busser. Virtual assistants Siri and Echo mess with a man who just want the assistants to play a dang song. The event is sponsored by Visit 29 Palms. The cast include a lot of familiar high desert favorites, and the 10-minute mini masterpieces begin each night at 5 p.m. out at the Palms in Wonder Valley. Get on Amboy Road and head east until you see it on the right. If you hit the Atlantic Ocean, you've gone too far. You can find more information on the 10-Minute Play Festival at a link at this story on our website, z1077fm.com. And that's your local news for Saturday. You can hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. More Morongo Basin residents get their local news from Z107.7 than any other source. Reporting out of Joshua Tree, California, alongside the award-winning Z107.7 news team, I'm Robert Hayden.